I think that was the reason, but I participated indirectly by the way of phoning in. So
Okay.
I'm not a stranger to more talk shows in this country. When it comes to talk shows in this country, in fact, it's where I got to be known by the Liberian people.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I'm a friend and to almost the major talk shows in Liberia. So I'm not strange to ELBC. It's just that it's my debut with Vavle and in this new studio. At the time, it was in the other building.
Yeah.
So this is my first appearance. Okay.
But it's good to be talking to you at this time, especially when you have a new job. You help to usher in a new government. You are the NTA. First of all, how's the NTA since you went there along with your colleagues?
Okay. First of all, before we get there, let me use this opportunity to again appreciate His Excellency, the President of Liberia, Ambassador Joseph Boakai, for giving me this great opportunity to serve my nation. It all began in November of last year when I got appointed on a joint presidential transition team, when we started to pave the way for the coming in of this government. And then later on, it ended me in government officially on the 20th of February when I got appointed with the managing director, proper Mr. Edmond Ford, and my fellow deputy, the deputy for administration, Mr. Toga Melvin Cephas, the youth chair of our party. And I had the operational arm of NTA, which is the nucleus of that entity. I am responsible to run the day-to-day affairs of NTA. I am the first to arrive to NTA and the last to depart from NTA. So I get there.
What does that mean?
Meaning I appeared there by 4 a.m. because the buses are dispatched by 5. So I should be there an hour before the buses are dispatched. And then I don't leave from there until sometimes 8:30 to 9 p.m. If possible, on 11 p.m. because NTA should be working or running for 24 hours. It's just that right now with the challenges, so we are not running 24 hours, but we'll resume 24 hours soon. So as it relates to where did we meet the NTA before I tell you the plans that are on the way. When we got appointed by His Excellency President Boakai on February 20, we began working unofficially until March 1st when we took over officially from the outgone management. We met NTA in total state of despondence, or I would say hopelessness. 99% zero. We met NTA.
Really?
In fact, when we took over on the 20th of February unofficially, NTA compound did not even appear like you have a management there for 6 years. Probably if a hunter could have gone there on an expeditious hunting, he could have killed groundhog or maybe other creature.
The place was like a forest land.
It was like the 18th century fortress. I can tell you. In fact, the grass was stopping you above your knees in NTA. It was a place of a big garbage site. Probably the entire community of that neighborhood used the place for the dumping of garbage because they saw the state of the place. It wasn't being cared for. And we met in an account after taking over officially March 1st. We met $41 in a US dollar account. And then we met 113,000 LD in a Liberian dollar account. And then prior to our coming there, we were informed that our predecessor met 200,000 US dollar from the Tanu Jackie administration in 2018 with 15 million LD, and it's what they depleted to $41 and $113 when they were leaving. And they met
$113 Liberian dollars.
113,000.
113,000.
Yeah,
LD.
Yeah, LD with 41 US dollar. After they met 200,000 and 15 million LD respectively, with even fuel in the tank for the buses, and they met 27 active buses from the Tanu Jackie administration. A year later, they received 39, carrying it out to 66. But interestingly, when they got informed that 39 buses were already in a port through the kind gesture of the Indian government, through the effort of President Weah, they started scrapping the already 27 that they met that were already in good condition, that were not even to be scrapped because new ones were coming. So out of the 66 in totality, they left 5. We met 5 there, and the 5 were not in good condition. We started to do some major servicing to keep them running on the Nima route. And while we met over 30 of them dying that needed major repairs. So we met a lot of arrears, a lot of liabilities, and we met no electricity. We were told that 6 32-seater buses that were there responsible to transport NTA workers to the base before they start working were also sold. And we also uncover that 2 40-foot containers loaded with spare parts for those buses were also sold. They remain in this container and got sold.
But how did you know it was sold?
So I told you, I said we uncover. So how do you uncover? You uncover through investigation. So we launched our own internal investigation, and right now the GSC is already carrying on an audit, which will be up to the public very soon. So if I were to sit here today,
was there a turnover note from
no,
what's the guy name who was there?
No, don't even waste your time. In fact, he was not even in the country. By the day President Bwaka was pronounced winner on November 20, 2023 by Madam TV Eto Brown Lansana, we were informed that that very month Macaulay departed the country. So we didn't even meet him there. Neither did we meet any of his deputy to even turn over to us formally. So as it relates to...
So who inducted you, the HR?
Yes, the HR was the officer in charge that we met there. So as it relates to where are we, what have we done, and what we intend to do. So when we met the entity under this complete state of hopelessness, what did we do? Firstly, when we serviced those 5 buses, we met 21 contractors, 2 sets of contractors. The first set were about 7 persons, the second batch 14, making it in total of 21 contractors. They were being owed by the previous administration, some 8 months, some 7 months, some 5 months, some 9 months. Seeing the condition of the place, no funding, no revenue coming in, no much revenue coming in, so we decided to raise some money from the 5 buses that were running to settle the arrears owed by previous government by those 21 contractors to avoid early protest in the place, because these are things that bring protest.
I know for sure that place was rocked.
There's a saying in Vavle that says government is continuity, right? So we could not have said that we didn't create the situation. This is why we inherited. We were sent there to solve problem. So what we did, we raised an amount of 988,000 plus and paid
from the 5 buses that were running already.
Yes, that we already met. No, they weren't running. We met them done.
Yeah, but you how do you do then? You fix them and put them on the road.
Yes. So, like I was saying to you, what we did was we raised an amount of 988,000 LD, Liberian dollar, and then settle the arrears of the first 7 contractors. Then we tried to pay the second contractor, partial contractor, about 14. We raised a little over 2 million Liberian dollar and settled the area of all the 21 contractors.
What about the employees? Were they being paid?
So yeah, they were being paid. We coming there.
Central government.
Yeah, we coming there.
Okay,
we coming there. So I just want to train you through step by step. Then another thing was there was no electricity. Everywhere we went to see how we could take generator from vendor, NTA had a lot of debts from past management. They did not even want to hear any NTA. In fact, if you went there, they hear your name, they want to order you out of their place. So thanks to the intervention of the current common minister, my good friend and brother, our former chairman, Amin Munda, who intervened through his intervention, one of the vendors was able to give her a 25 kVA generator that cost $9,000, and from the proceeds of the same 5 buses, we've already paid $3,000 towards that. By the end of this month, we'll be settling the second $3,000 to restore electricity in the compound. Today, if you went there now, we got electricity there for almost, I would say, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. we have electricity there now. We solved that other problem. Now, we didn't stop there. We met a lady who was involved in an accident, and you wouldn't believe it. None of those buses have been insured. All the NTA buses have been running. None were insured. So we met a lady who was involved in an accident.
She was on one of the buses?
She was on one of the buses, and she got involved in an accident, I think, around 2022. She was abandoned by past management. She was never treated. So we were able to give her a little over 50,000 Liberian dollar to honor write her medical bill, which she honor going right now, and we maintain her on a job because we could not terminate her easily. So we did that from the same 5 buses. From the same 5 buses, we were able to calibrate the fuel tank. We calibrated the fuel tank because the fuel tank was completely destroyed. It was leaking. It was abandoned. We cleaned the tank, and through that,
what is the fuel tank?
The tank that stored the fuel for the buses.
For the buses, okay.
Yes. So we calibrated the tank, and for the first time in several years of the history of NTA since 2017, according to the workers there, it was our administration that made them to see fuel tanker coming in the yard for the buses. So every 2 weeks, we were able to pay for 1,000 gallons of fuel just to get those few buses being fueled across the country with the limited resources. And we also have been able to add additional 3 buses on the 5 we met that are on test drive right now.
What means? You bought them?
No, we didn't buy them. I told you we met over 30 buses dying that need a major repair. So the little proceeds we generate from the 5 buses, we'll be able to use some to repair 3 additional ones to add on the 5 that we met, taking it to the total of 8 buses. Now, of recent, when the police decided to enforce this motorcycle no-go zone regulation, immediately we intervened by putting 3 buses, NTA buses, on the streets of Monrovia, waiting for additional 15 that will be on the streets next month when we get the spare parts arrive in the country by the end of this month. Because
so Noah, as we speak, you have 7 buses running.
8, not 7.
Okay, you repair 5 first when you went there.
Yes, and we just added additional 3.
Okay, 8
to 8.
Okay, so of the 8, which ones run in Monrovia?
3 are currently on the streets of Monrovia since last week Wednesday to help mitigate the challenges our commuters have been facing.
And where are the 5?
The other 5 are running uptime because mind you now we need revenue to run the place. So and the ones that are running uptime, they help us a lot to bring some late revenue, so we cannot totally close the out of town route.
So you generate more from out of town,
yes,
than
yes,
in town.
Yes. So mind you now, we, as part of the 100 days deliverable, we were able to secure, thanks to the national legislature, when our MD, who also understands the running of this place very well because he was there as rigs and compliance manager, uh, after he got reassigned to Grand GA only because on the basis of him being from another party. When he told them that he was ready for his assignment, he got fired as a result of that. And then he returned today as the managing director. So he understands the working of that place well. So through his able leadership, we were able to lobby with the legislature, and we secured 300,000 in the budget to secure spare parts for the 15 of those buses. And by the end of this month, the spare parts will be imported in the country from Tata. Tata is the company that donated those buses, the Indian company. So they are the one we are importing those buses from. So, I mean, those spare parts from. Where we are right now is for the vendor to get a letter of assurance from the finance ministry that, look, bring in the spare parts. When you bring in the spare part, we will be able to pay you as government. And that letter of assurance, I'm told reliably, will be released today to be given to the vendor, so they can go and get the spare parts as soon as it comes. The physical auditing unit of the Ministry of Finance will go there to inspect those spare parts to ensure that they are the proper spare parts, and then government will make available the payment, and then we will start repairing 15 of those buses to get them outside by June, hopefully. So
I also understand that you have duty-free privilege.
Yes,
at the port.
Yes,
I think that was an executive order,
and we want to thank the president for that. Executive order 130. We want to thank the president for that. So it came in at a time that we really need it. So as the operation manager, I've been able to work with the MD, my boss, and my fellow deputy, the TDO. We met, and then we were also able to bring in some safety gears for the mechanics. Through the scene, 5 buses proceed to get the mechanics well attired for their safety boots, the raincoat. Rain is coming, and the main people who hold that place are the mechanics. Because mind you, if you do not satisfy the mechanics, who get those buses functional to get on the various routes?
Are they trusted? Because there were reports during the past administration that some of the mechanics used to sell the spare parts.
No, we didn't uncover that. You see, look, leadership is by example, Vavli. I didn't say, or I'm not in any way saying that it was right to have done that. Only that ever happened that we yet to establish. But if it happened, probably they may have seen the bosses from up doing it, because like I told you, what we uncovered there, the selling of the 240-foot containers loaded with spare parts for those buses, it did not come from the owner, man. Well, most of the staff were told that one morning when it came, they couldn't see those containers. They disappeared. They were being informed that they left there as the result of big hands ordering them to leave. So if you got the owner man in that kind of system that is seeing such a thing happening from the pricing or the bosses or high authority, you telling them that's the way forward. Proceed. Which of course I'm not saying it should be a justification too for them to do that, but leadership is it should be by example. I can tell you, when we went there, up to now I still ride motorbike. My motorbike park out there. The three managing directors from the managing director himself to the deputy for administration before he come to me, the deputy for operation, none of us had a vehicle. For them, fortunately, they had their own private vehicles prior to us getting appointed. For me, the motorbike I use currently was something that was bought by the Unity Party chairman and donated to me since 2 years for the camping that I use for the camping activities. What I say use, I say parents me to work. So
was quite amazing when I called you last evening. You were on the bus.
Yes.
Why are you on the bus like a conductor? You were in the office.
No, listen. What people are not understood, the operational arm of NTA is not an office job. It's not an office job. 80% of the functions of that work is you out there. You have to be on the field. You look. If you are
It's
not
not that
honest,
you don't trust the
no,
guys who will collect the money and all that.
no. It's not a matter of not trusting them. In the first place, my scope of operation or my term of reference
Mm.
had got nothing to do with money issue. When it comes to that, you talk about the deputy for administration, what of you. It has got nothing to do with money issue. So I am there to bring motivation. I am there to ensure that the passengers are properly served. I am there to ensure that the workings of that government entity is effective and efficient.
You have
So,
active buses.
so,
Which one you on?
so no, it's not possible for me to be on.
Are you on one of the ones?
I can be. I do not have a specific assignment. I can get on any one of them. You could see me on any one of them. So, and I would say, even many times I leave my office, I sit in the garage with the mechanics. My presence there make them work a lot. Do you know why it took to get those 3 buses out recently that we added on the 5 to make it 8? It was because of my presence there with them. In the first place, we feed them every day. Right now, as you go there, they're cooking in the garage. They're cooking there. So
you inspire them.
it's of course it's both physical. That work is both physical and technical. So you don't only look at the technical aspect. Now, when it comes to the physical aspect, they gotta be energized. If they don't get energized, they don't think properly to have the technical side of it effective. So obviously, we as management who know that, look, this issue of coming to rescue the people, we did not just come to rescue. No, I mean, our mission to rescue is not limited. We came to rescue every sector of this country. The mechanics of NTA are no exception. The drivers are no exception. The conductors are no exception. Most really, look, the risk the conductors take. At times, when the buses break down on the highway, and we got a policy that we don't refund money. So the passengers will be very impatient, intolerant. Sometimes they want to jump on the conductors to beat them. The conductor will be all in the boot just calling me. Oh, chief, we had a breakdown. You need to send mechanic. As it stands, we do not even have a motorbike to respond immediately to such emergency. So what do we do at times? What I do, I will have to charter a motorbike. Sometimes I want to write a cost from my pocket as the operation manager because we have to sacrifice. Sometimes some of them have their own private motorbike but no gas. I have to put gas in it as the operation manager for them to go. Because this is the system we inherited. We're not here to complain. We are here to tell the Liberian people what we inherited and what we are doing so they can understand why things are moving as the way they are. But it does not mean that helps are not on the way. More hopes are on the way. So as part of being able to address such emergency immediately, we've been able to also secure $28,000 in the budget to get a brand new pickup, which the bidding process is on now according to the PPCC. Before you do those kind of transaction, you need to do something like advertisement in the newspaper for like 21 days and open the process. So that period, I think, might be coming to an end this week. By the 28th or the 29th, I'm believing that we will get that pickup there to be able to respond to emergency in case of any breakdown.
Okay.
So, I mean, right now, I can tell you, I know people want to hear whether we have plan of bringing in new buses apart from the old ones. Yeah, options have been considered for that. But what we considering 2 options, you know, there are 2 groups right now. We got the Marco Polo group from Brazil that the president sent to us, and another group again from one other country. They want to get into us. They want us to sign the partner, a private partner investment. But we don't want to. You have to be mindful. The government is challenged right now. You don't want to commit government to an amount that would be very huge, like the Marco Polo, consideration I'm talking about that we're reviewing. They're talking about they want to bring in 300 buses at a cost of $70 million US, and that is very huge for government that is just 4 months old. And we are considering another one who also bringing another effort because right now most of the country don't want to give grant right now. Like the Indian government, we've been informed that they're going to the election.
Yeah.
They will resume their grant assistance next year. And one of the things that we also have to be mindful, we need to show some level of responsibility as government, because mind you now, these people donated their bosses, from their taxpayer money, and they form a manner in which they're being handled. We went there.
So they're kind of skeptical.
Yeah. So you got to show some level of responsibility to bring some credibility back to the government. So that's why we want to hurry up and repair
to build confidence.
Yes. So we want to hurry up and repair those 30 buses. The 515 will be repaired, placed back on the road. Then
having some damage beyond repair.
Yes, some are damaged beyond repair, but they are in a very less quantity.
Okay.
All right.
Noah, let's talk about the no-go zone restriction exposed two things. It exposed how motorbike riders and sometimes even the vehicles are in violation of rules, vehicle registration, all that, and it also exposed how passengers overwhelm traffic vehicles. This is why when you see those motorbike riders who are not in compliant and who are not given the authority to ply the streets from ELBC Junction, for example, to Central Town, you see people standing along the road, even some walking. Have you been able to up your operations so that you meet that demand?
Probably, I since answered that question. That's what I told you.
I still see the 3 buses to going Central Monrovia as very limited.
No, but
given the number of people that stand along the road looking for cars on a daily basis.
No, but probably, I did tell you initially from the genesis of our conversation. I didn't tell you, or we are not telling you here this morning that the 3 buses are enough. In fact, the 3 buses are just a drop in the ocean. But at least it paves the way of a bigger intervention and effort that are coming, and that will yield fruit very soon.
So where are the routes?
So it was no. Right now, what is happening now is that we don't have specific route. We move at the demand of the passenger. Where we think that more passengers are gravitating right now is where we divert those buses. But I can tell our people, to tell you that we're making frantic efforts behind the scene. We made some money available. Also, the MD was able to lobby to get some money in the budget for the administrative building that we will be constructing soon. But since we have the kind of situation in hand, we also making way to bring in 3 new buses soon. How soon is this soon? I don't want to attach a specific timeline, but it's not going to be, something that will be delayed. Between you and me, the arrangements are ongoing right now. We met Alliance Motor already, and we're working behind the scene on that. So we're going to be bringing like 3 new buses to add on the current 3. That will make it 6 until we put the 15 out next month, and then we're getting somewhere. So it's something that we inherited.
How many buses you think that you will need to meet the demand, the transportation demand of ordinary citizens, whether it's out of town or in town?
Well, we need at least not less than 70 buses.
70?
Yes,
70.
At least not less than 70 buses.
And I also understand that some of your buses fly from here to Sierra Leone.
No, that was long since. It's been suspended long.
Yeah, but the past administration did that.
That's what I'm saying. The past administration did that based on what they inherited. The past administration did not inherit what we inherited. They inherited 27 active buses running. All right, with $200,000 US in the account and 15 million LD. We inherited 5 buses partially active, which we have to improve, make major services on them, and $41 we inherited with 113,000 LD. So who's supposed to do better?
Who's
supposed to have done better?
I said $41.
The bank statement is there available. Come there, you see it.
$41
US dollar. 41. You put a 4 down, you put a 1 there. What I'm talking about.
the challenges are enormous. If you think about the other sector, is more challenged. Turn to the
So,
other.
so
But
this is
I
why,
just want to know. I just want to know how long will it take your management, all of you, to surmount the challenges that you inherited?
my brother, we already meeting them. We beating those challenges already. I just told you, listen, I outlined huge progress we've made in a short period of time. Do you know what I mean? Prior to us adding the 3 buses to the 5. Do you know what it means? To raise a little over 3 million out of the pay 21 contractors that you met, that you did not inherit such challenge. Do you know what it means? To also be able to being able to bring 1,000 to pay for 1,000 gallon of fuel every 2 weeks to keep those buses running. Because one of the things that destroyed those buses was they were being on fuel. Anyone who knows about vehicle that monitoring me right now will call and attest to this. Once you honor fuel the vehicle, and I mean the pump, the fuel injector pump, we encounter problem. It will develop a nozzles problem. It will taking air. That's how most of the buses broke down. For example, they were there because they didn't want to spend the money for the fuel, so they were telling the driver to honor fuel the buses from here Banga. I mean from here Ganta, we buying not less than 45 gallons of fuel to and fro. Now you go in such a distance that you need to burn about 45 gallon of fuel. Then you will tell the driver pull 15 gallon or 20 gallon. When they tell you cheap, they amount of gallon will not be able to bring the bus. I said, do it. Why I want you to do that? What you should do? You not do it, you'll be suspended or you'll be fired. And they're not even feeding the bus from the tank. They're buying the fuel on the sidewalk. And you know, some of those fuels are not to go into buses. So when you get the wrong fuel, you get the dirty fuel, you run into problem. Then to I would say to make things worse, then you honor filling the bus again. It puts pressure on the pump. So I will tell you, we've been able to procure tires. Even tire we did not meet for those buses. We've been able to procure almost close to 50 tires now from the same 5 buses revenue that coming in. We've been able to restore power from the same 5. We've been able to bring hope to the mechanics, lifting their morale. You know, when I posted their gears yesterday in their attire, some comments from the other side being read. I mean, telling me that, oh, you know, we want person in the street, not mechanic here. But you know that the mechanics, if they are not protected, how will they work? How will they work if they are not protected? And these are things that they demanded that they put before us that they have never had since 2017. So a lot more progress have been made and more are on the way. Let me tell you, I can guarantee the public next year, in a year from now, God's willing, from now to around May, June of next year, anyone going to NTA, the place you will meet NTA on the leadership of Mr. Emma Ford and his 2 deputies. You will not believe that we have a Liberian of such managerial ideas of managerial logic that could have transformed a governmental sector in this form and manner. Because I can tell you, the MD and his 2 deputies, we are passionate. And one thing I know, since I've been working, he one person that I would always like to work with. He relates to us properly. I mean, no usurpation of function. Everybody stay on their lane, and he does nothing without consulting his 2 deputies. So, I mean, I can tell you, President Baka made no mistake to appoint Emma for.
Okay, you're listening to the Super Morning Show this morning. The Deputy for Operations at the National Transit Authority, Noah Zawu Gibson, is here, bringing us up to speed with what's happening at the NTA. If you want to be a part of the program, you can call us on 0770581886, 770581886, and be live on the program this morning. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Hartley, and good morning to CM brother Noah Zawu Gibson, our CM President studio.
Yeah, let's hear you.
This is Hussein Kewu, and I join you from around down to distance from where the NTA is. I listened to the big brother there, he spoke quite lengthily to provide some clarity on the workings of the NTA. But like he said, he continued to make emphasis on the top buses that have been operated by the NTA. And with the revenue being generated from top buses, it just indicates that that place is a government area that can, raise a huge revenue. On the act today, we saw in the last 6 years, NPA was never a no-go zone. The people could not benefit directly from, the NPA in terms of transport services. Now, in the last meeting of the former regime, we saw the whole place got on fire. Mr. Gibson, are you people carrying on an intensive audit as to ensure that the many people money that got burned in our place and other things that got damaged that can be restored by this government and that you people can use it adequately? And lastly, I know many times when people start, they have the drive, they have the energy. I hope we'll continue. We'll not fall along and just be no complete. Then definitely will be the same 6 and 7. So I'm urging you that you can do your best, continue on that path until the end of the 6 years. Then we can make a better life for all of us.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Let me say good morning to the MG. No, I will give them this. I will tell me what the client about it from Mama. I want on the street this morning.
Yeah.
Man, my brother Noah. As I said yesterday, Noah will follow you in the disabled community. You need to do your best. Continue. Share with dedication, integrity, more. Do your best. I'm living with I think I got on 23 yesterday after one of the boss party. The boss was UL. Tell him. I didn't see, but yesterday I saw the shopping people that you're doing well. I was just asking to butcher your effort. To butcher Noah, the civil man and myself, yes. He's doing well. I'm not surprised, brother. I'm going to flatter you. We really want to plan the civil community. And also, Noah, I feel to you on the community at home. Your push on behalf of us, your people in the civil community. We're not getting anything on behalf of us. I don't want to commend the team and do your thing about the civil community. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Go ahead. What's your name?
This is Stanley Swan and I phoned you from Gardnersville.
Let's hear you.
Well, thank you. And let me say good morning to Honorable Gibson for his deliberation this morning. Valerie, as you were conducting an interview, I think listened to Mr. Gibson, and he said a function of that entity is not to just sit in office, rather he is an operational person. So you also have to go out there to see or to know for himself what those conductors and drivers are passing through on a daily basis, so that he can make a comprehensive and a better report to his boss, so that they can amicably be able to solve those issues that are confronted as it relates to their workers. So Mr. Gibson appointment by President Buakai, we think it was a mistake. This was in the right direction. Some of us live right close to NTA. And we cannot feel the impact of this entity. But I feel that with a limited resources inherited by the current leadership of that entity, we'll do better. Like you were talking about a partnership between the government of Liberia, through the National Taxi Authority, and a group from Brazil. And other places, we think this government, through the transport sector, this entity will deliver on a better note, especially with the expertise of Honorable Gibson and his boss and other guys that are there. We say thank you, Mr. Gibson. You make the country proud, and the sector you give for that is the disabled community. We are proud of you. And we say, Mr. President, you have to go one more step further and add a little 2 or 3 more to Honorable Gibson to make the face of your government look good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning, Valerie.
Good morning. What's your name?
Thank you. And let me say good morning to the many listeners following the broadcast. My name is Zawu William Corley, and I joined this conversation from this week. Let me say
thank you to one of the real funniest songs chief persons of Noah Zawu. We say thank you, Chief. You are a mentor. And look, I must applaud President Buakai for the team of men that he appointed at the National Transit Authority. I was privileged to be visiting there. Actually, when you enter that compound at the time of opening, the place was completely neglected for garage. I saw buses that have the means of getting on the road to provide transport services for the Liberian people. Some of them were part from random problem. And those guys were there for the last 6 years. These phones no one knew. No one even know what the guys were doing with the money that they were generating on a daily basis. They saw those buses parking, some of them for tire problems, some of them just no issue. Why didn't they buy or present at the company? But allow individuals to monopolize the job in this country. I have to thank you so much for the guys that are there now. They are working to ensure that our people have access to transportation. And we look forward for your progressive nature at the NTA. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I take a call too. Good morning.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm fine.
I'm Mr. Tito Carl McDonald. I'm calling from Boston.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
If you look at the transport sector in Liberia, from my point of view, it has been dormant for the past 34 years since the war. And these people pay every month, and the commuters are stranded on the streets. So what we need is public-private partnership. That go out there, source investors that can come and put buses in every county. You keep on talking about 3 buses, and we are more than 5 million people in Liberia. We have 15 counties to cover up. You cannot even provide transport for Monserrato. Then what we're talking about, Grand Basel, Lofa, Grand Gide.
No, there are 8. There are 8 active buses right now.
No, but it's insufficient. Not even for 2 districts in Monrovia. Even Lokinta and Yukuta and Lofa buses is not sufficient for them. People are talking about the 17th district in Monserrato County. Bring in investors. If you have a contact for Italy or Brazil, bring in the people, let them put the 300 buses on the road and monitor and be able to get the money back, and the government can get a percentage. We don't even have bus stop in Liberia. Really, these people are standing in the rain waiting for MTA buses. They don't even have shelter. Then you're talking about 3 buses. You need to bring in investors and put about 1,000 buses.
So they should increase the number of buses in town, right?
I mean, across the country now.
No, they already have 5. They already have 5.
We need more than 500 buses.
Okay.
We need about 100 buses in every country.
Thank you. Easy said and done. Let's hear you. Good morning. Lastly, what's your name?
Yeah, good morning, family.
Yeah.
This is Edmond calling you from Lofa, always Colorado this morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me appreciate the civil guest because he put to order. He loved the country. Because whenever they give you a push to look at the tragedy he's explaining, and they can show you how the love of God. He said you are getting the man. They will give you 100. They give you half of the country so that the NGOs are always crying because it's the Bible for government. See, we'll pray God for you. You will succeed. That's why you're making your family.
Thank you very much, Noah. You can respond to some of the concerns. I also wanted to ask whether you contribute to the national budget.
Yeah, I will make that clarity when I'm concluding. Vavli. Let me start with the caller from Boys Town. I mean, from the recognition of his voice, he sounded as an adult. And I don't think he spoke as an adult. We don't need such a people in the society who will be thinking in that kind of form and manner. The first thing, you misinform the Liberian people that since the war, the transport sector in Liberia has been done. That's not true. That's how you people provide misinformation that you got no control over. This National Transit Authority was first Monrovia Transit Authority. It came to being 1979, under the watch of President William Arrow Tobo, when the OAU conference, now AU, was hosted by Liberia. So the buses that were used to transport the delegates to the conference, after the conference, President Tobo decided and said, look, what can we do? We can't just let the buses sit like this. That's how the Monrovia Transit Authority was established. It was only limited to Monrovia. When President Sirleaf came to power in 2006, 2 years after her regime in 2008, they enacted into law the NTA, giving birth to the National Transit Authority, and since the NTA was established in 2008, we provided transportation to almost the entire 15 counties in Liberia. So where you coming from to say the transportation sector was done for 34 years? That your data is marked by fraud and flawed. No, such people. No, I'm coming. Yeah, let's go to the other concern. I will go to the other concern. But let me.
You administration. No, you have to be reactive.
No, listen.
They have to be proactive.
But I am proactive. All of what I outlined here, you can't come and misinform the people in the manner. We were running Grand Bazaar. Let anybody call Grand Bazaar if we had the time and tell me that they didn't see NTA running Grand Bazaar, they didn't see NTA running Grand Cape Mount, they did not see NTA running Bapolu. NTA was running as far as Lofa, Grand Jide, Nima. Okay? We ran in almost all of the counties. It was unfortunate that the 6 years came and broke down all of those things. So we are now building it from scratch. Then you're talking about the 3 buses you put in the street. Did I tell you they were enough? I made it clear to you that they weren't enough, but it was an intervention to begin mitigating the situation. On the issue of why we can bring in buses from partners to do probably partner investment. Look, you know, Liberians, we're good at talking. You think the way you saying it, how it easily done. Do you know what it means to venture into 70 million investment in the first place? Our economy right now, even in the past, we got a very small economy. The same people you carry to work in town, and the same people you will bring back in the evening. You don't have a mass movement of people 24 hours in the country. So when you bring those 300 buses, you know the possibility of even generating the resources of refunding the money of that company. You know how challenging it is. And President Bouakai did not come to remain as president forever. When he shall have left, do you want to enter into something that will lead and a real for previous administration that will come in the future? Then they say, oh yeah, they came to rescue, but they left mess. That's why you want us? No, that's why you want us? We will not take that. We're considering all other options. Like I said, we will intervene very soon. We will open the various routes that were closed in the various county very soon. Okay. But we're not going to think as we are thinking on the issue of the concern raised by the first caller, Hussein Kewu. Hussein, we commissioned an audit already. The GSC is auditing that place. The report will be out very soon. And to you, Abu Robert, Abu, the disabled have not been forgotten about. For the fact that President Bouakai can appoint a man who is challenged, visually impaired wise, to head the operational arm of the biggest transportation network of the Republic of Liberia. It is the first of its kind ever in the history of Liberia. This has never happened. I think we must commend President Bouakai for that. And I'm not the only person, by the way. The head of the LMHRO, the Liberian Medical
Regulatory Authority.
Yes, Dr. Luke Bao is disabled. He's physically challenged. So he's not even appointed one disabled. These things have never happened before. Okay. This government is proving that indeed they are inclusive, that they believe in inclusivity. Okay. Lastly, I want to say this on the issue of whether we contribute to the national budget as it relates to the concern you raised. The answer is no. Okay. And the reason for that is NTA is not a profit-making area. We were established to serve, to stabilize transportation. So we were established to make money, meaning to stabilize the transportation in the country. So on that basis, we are not contributing to the national budget. So I want to tell to our supporters and every Liberian on the sound of my voice, hopes are on the way to not listen to this cheap political chicanery where everybody wants to politicize everything in this country. We are working in every governmental sector, and I can guarantee you, in the soonest possible time, you will reap the reward of your vote, when you dancing in poo water, where even some of you lose your relative as a result of that, you will not regret. We are working, but we inherited a serious, challenging mess that cannot be worked out so easily. It got to take time. So let them keep quiet in the community and stop provoking and don't listen to their provocation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Noah Zawu Gibson is the deputy managing director for operations at the National Transit Authority. He's been my guest on the Super Morning Show this morning. Next, I will be speaking with the head of the National Commission on Disabilities, Mr. Sam Dean. This is the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio with me, Vafli Kamara.